We got ourselves Ice Crush on team. Below, we got ourselves Irkus, we got ourselves Menethil, we got Necro and Rimuru as a Feral Druid versus Ithea as a Rogue. We got ourselves Daedra as a Demonology. We got Crippers in the back. Janezar as a Demon Hunter champion from way back in the day. My man, I haven't seen it in a while. And Eluna Relly. Well, hold on. Elune Aureli. Is that what it is? Elune Aureli? Is it like a night elf saying or something? We got Elune in here as a Demon Hunter on the bottom of Team Red as well. Janes are going to be going up versus Irkus at the beginning. Daedra, what are you doing? Setting up a gateway? No, don't set up a gateway for Demon Hunter. You don't want him to have a gateway. Come on, man. Irkus is going to get opened up on big Dusty Guy. Trying to let a palm over to Janezar. Does landed. It's going to have stars from Janezar stacking up. The greater Pyroblast coming out for Irkus. Should be able to get some big damage into Ring of Frost to follow to Janezar. Does he land it? He doesn't properly land it. Going to be a missed interrupt for Janezar. The Irkus got some huge damage rolling. Janezar doesn't really have an answer. Does go for Warlock Hellstone immediately. And he still continues just to slam damage into Irkus. Trying to stay aggressive and offensive with Irkus. He did play himself Lucid Dream. So that was most of his big damage gone afterwards, boys. Won't really have big damage to follow after. That's going to be Irkus going to hit actually with a huge damage. Iceman coming out as Cauterize comes in. The Demon Hunter damage, man. He just gets a stun with a bit of a blade dance, and that's it, man. You go down. Irkus trying to see if he might be able to recover himself. So for Janezar, who's already on the hunt, man. Look how healthy this guy is. He just had a massive fight, a back and forth with Irkus, trying to see if he might be able to dodge the breath coming out of Irkus. If he's able to dodge breath, he'll be in a good spot. That's essentially all he needs to do. He's still biding his time to see how he does the Spectral Side. Stun into Irkus before he can really get the breath up and running. Blade Storm to follow. Stun again. Might be able to kill him enough before the breath. Does juke the breath behind line side with a Crucible right after. And he's ready to go up against whoever, man. He's ready to go up against whoever. Ice Quest as the Fury Warrior is going to be up next. Looking fairly corrupted. Looking very corrupted, actually. It might be a Thing from Beyond moment right here. Might be really, really bad for him. It's going to be Ice Crush popping in massive defenses already as he goes for a charge from Janezar. Is going to cover a large distance. Janezar is going to back up and just try to see if he can tag Ice Crush from a distance. It looks like Janezar might have actually noticed that Ice Crush has a lot of corruptions and he might just be able to do some damage to him from a distance. Ice Crush is not quite at the corruption level where he takes extra damage and takes, does less self-healing. But it is pretty close. As Ice Crush goes in for a bit of a blaze. And Janezar going up in the air is going to pelt him from above. He just needs to force out at least, just one Thing from Beyond. And Ice Crush, I think, could be done. Ice Crush could just get crushed right there. I want to say he's over 70% corruption, actually. And that's going to be down for the count as Janezar taking him out with a single Crucible at the end. Ice Crush, I mean, he came in. Pop coolness maybe a little bit too early against Janezar. And Janezar just kind of waited out. Menethil trying to see if he can go for a little bit of an auto duel with our boy Janezar. He's Xander. Just a massive Xander on a big old spider. There's going to be a bit of a bow against Janezar. How is Menethil going to be able to catch up with Janezar? Janezar actually kind of letting those dots hit him at the very beginning. So that's going to be VT and Pain in the opener. So at least the Shadow Priest got some sort of damage over time. Trinket coming out for Menethil. Getting a stun on Janezar. He is going to Trinket out of it immediately. Blur activated for Janezar. It's going to reduce some of the damage he's taken. Siphon tried to hit him. Does limit the Siphon, but it is going to get mind controlled by Menethil. Has a little bit extra control onto Janezar for a moment, but he didn't really get the Siphon extra damage for it. That's going to be huge amounts of healing coming out for Menethil while he's got the VT up and running. Vampiric Embrace is available, and he was able to actually split the damage of Destiny together with a Mindbender, which was super lucky. I-Beam coming in. Janezar getting hit with a Silence. Not going to be able to get the haste buff out of it. Stun again into Menethil. He's going to be dispersed out of the Shadow Priest as he just completely collapsed within those rocks from below. And Menethil is kind of running, I think, on fumes. He just popped every defensive available, trying to get a mind control on Janezar. He does juke it with a Metamorphosis, but that mind control is going to finally catch him. If Menethil could get some big damage rolling somehow on Janezar while he gets a stun lock on him, then he might be in a good spot. Besides that, I think this might be a little bit tough. Going to be an interrupt onto Menethil. As Janezar is still staying aggressive. Siphon does come out. Does get to stun him. He does eliminate the Siphon. It's going to be a mind control as the VT and Pain are on the Demon Hunter. He's going to take a little bit of damage. But Menethil, he's really not out of options right now. Try to go for a Greater Fate. Did not Greater Fate a stun. I think it's going to be done and done for our boy Menethil, man. I mean, what as a Shadow Priest can you do against the Demon Hunter? What essentially can you do unless you have a very specific build? Rimuru Gonna be up next, trying to build up a bunch of comp points on the Chainsaw. Does go for a big old bite. I was a blur available for Chainsaw though. That's gonna be quite a lot of damage reduction in general. As he's trying to see if he wants to stay away from Rumor. No, so far he hasn't gotten aggressive on the Feral at all. He kind of just, I guess, trying to get the Feral out in the open. But now it might be, maybe that's what he's waiting for. Waiting for a stun, waiting for the opportunity to get the I-beam rolling and everything. Big Destiny got chicken onto Rumor as he throws a bike back at Jainsar. He did not get to Shadow Meld. It looked like he stopped for a second. Maybe try to see if he can Shadow Meld the bike. I wonder if he can Shadow Meld the bike. As long as he stealth before the bike hits it, does that still hit? Or does it not? Chicken coming out for Jainsar as Rumor trying to get some damage rolling. Looks like Rumor is now the one on the back foot as he's popping in the bear from just trying to bear the damage. Jainsar so far hasn't barely lost any health. We are only at the 5-minute mark. 4% dampening, and the Demon Hunter healing is still super high. Rumor trinketing out of that stun I-beam wombo combo, trying to get a bash on a Jainsar, but the Demon Hunter still has full metamorphosis up and running for a little bit longer. Was that full meta or was that just I-beam? Because that seemed like a really, really long I-beam. Main coming out onto Jainsar. He's still very, very healthy as Rumuru is the one that's really in a bad spot. Getting locked out on a regrowth. Cannot really get himself any self-healing rolling. And with Thorns, I don't really know if Thorns are going to do for you as it's super low on health. Jainsar catching the cat for the Rapture in a trap for just a second. Ivan to follow after that stun. Big TDs coming out for Jainsar actually. He's actually choosing to play with TDs. Maybe that's just the corruption he was given. Not the corruption he wanted, but it looks like he has stars and TD. So together, those could be quite good. Necrox is the last man left on Team Blue. He's the last man left who might be able to take down the Demon Hunter Menace here. Dropping down the full Abomination as Jainsar drops down Darkness. That's going to be a full army of the dead surrounding Jainsar. Still has Blur, still Darkness. Actually flying up in the air, trying to escape the adversaries. And it's going to get pelted down from below for quite a bit of damage. Necrox is the one who was really in dire situation. AMS trying to get away from Jainsar. That's going to be Chain of Ice. Hoping that Abomination does a little bit of damage. It's going to be full stun on all the pets. The Jainsar was able to control the Abomination for quite a bit as Necrotic starting to stack up. He's actually going to bail out of there for a second. Not going to stay next to Necrox, giving him death strikes, but also not going to let him go. Not just going to let him do a lot of just damage from a distance, letting the pets and dots melt him either. That's going to be Transfusion for Necrox while he's got himself a little bit of damage rolling. And looks like, is that Vision of Perfection playstyle? He got another set of pets up and running. It looks like it might be Vision of Perfection. I think this guy legit might be playing Vision of Perfection, which is a good PvE build. I don't really know how good it is for PvP. Jainsar's actually tricking it just so he can take out the appendage, because that thing could do quite a bit of damage. Still trying to get big slaps on the Necro. And Necro is just not looking that good with a death pack right now. Necrotic to push of his own health as Jainsar just continues to heal for now. The more pets they throw at him, which is going to be a whole another army of pets actually for Necro. Looks like he got a second army, so it looks like it has to be a Vision of Perfection playstyle. He just got a second set of pets that's going to be flying out for Jainsar. Necro has nothing to really stop the rain from Barrage. Jainsar is going to take some of this pet damage from below as the pets are going to start gnawing at him. So for Necro, he honestly might just need to go for a longer game if he could, but it looks like he might be down for the count. Trying to get himself a little bit of a selfie rolling, but it looks like nobody still to this day can stop Jainsar and his wrath of damage, boys. Actually, no one can stop this man. He's still the fucking Demon Hunter champion, boys. So far, still unbeatable. I don't think actually he's been beaten. Maybe once or twice, but I don't think that happened a lot.